Stop trying to lose weight. Do this instead. A healthier, sustainable approach through glucose stabilization and metabolic flexibility. Tired of crash diets and extreme workouts that don't last? There's a better way. What if I told you the secret to a healthier, leaner body isn't about weight loss at all? It's about mastering your metabolism and stabilizing glucose levels. In a world obsessed with quick fixes and fad diets, most people chase weight loss without addressing the root cause of long-term health: metabolic flexibility and glucose stabilization. Extreme methods might shed pounds fast, but they rarely offer sustainable health. This audiobook will reveal how shifting your focus from weight loss to balancing your blood sugar and optimizing your metabolism can revolutionize your well-being, energy levels, and body composition, without the stress of constant dieting. Focus points. The glucose-weight connection. Understanding how stabilizing blood sugar is more important than weight loss for long-term health. Metabolic flexibility. How building metabolic resilience allows your body to efficiently switch between burning carbs and fats. Why weight loss fails. Why extreme weight loss methods don't provide lasting results and may even sabotage your health. The power of food choices. Practical strategies for choosing foods that stabilize glucose and enhance metabolism. Sustainable lifestyle shifts. How small, consistent changes can lead to better health outcomes than drastic diets or intense exercise regimens. The science of glucose stabilization. Proven methods to balance your blood sugar and prevent the spikes and crashes that lead to weight gain and fatigue. Learning outcomes. Master glucose control. Learn how to manage blood sugar levels through practical diet and lifestyle tips, preventing cravings and energy dips. Achieve metabolic flexibility. Understand how metabolic flexibility can help your body burn fat efficiently without extreme diets or workouts. Break free from dieting. Discover why the obsession with weight loss is counterproductive and how focusing on glucose and metabolism can lead to better long-term health. Implement sustainable changes. Gain practical, science-backed tools to maintain a healthier lifestyle without falling into the trap of crash diets or extreme weight loss methods. Boost energy and well-being. Improve energy levels, mental clarity, and overall well-being by learning how to balance your blood sugar effectively. Focus point 1. The glucose-weight connection. Understanding how stabilizing blood sugar is more important than weight loss for long-term health. The relationship between blood sugar, glucose levels, and overall health is far more complex than simply aiming for weight loss. Many health issues arise not from excess body fat, but from glucose imbalances that disrupt metabolic processes. Stabilizing blood sugar levels is a more effective and sustainable approach for achieving long-term health than focusing solely on shedding pounds. Glucose is a primary energy source for the body, particularly for the brain and muscles. When glucose levels fluctuate drastically, the body responds with hormonal changes, specifically in insulin, which helps regulate blood sugar. Frequent spikes and crashes in glucose levels not only lead to fatigue, irritability, and cravings but also signal the body to store fat, particularly around the abdomen. In contrast, stable glucose levels help maintain a steady energy supply, support cognitive function, and prevent excess fat storage. Consider the case of individuals with insulin resistance, a condition where the body becomes less responsive to insulin's effects. This often leads to chronically high blood sugar levels, causing the pancreas to overproduce insulin. Over time, this can lead to weight gain, particularly in the form of visceral fat, which surrounds internal organs and increases the risk of cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes. What's striking is that many individuals focus on reducing their body weight through caloric restriction or extreme diets without addressing the underlying glucose imbalance that drives fat accumulation. A compelling study published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that individuals who prioritized stabilizing their glucose levels experienced better long-term health outcomes than those who simply followed calorie-restrictive diets. These participants not only saw improved metabolic markers such as insulin sensitivity, but also reduced fat storage and inflammation, without the rapid weight fluctuations often seen with traditional weight loss methods. This illustrates that stabilizing glucose plays a pivotal role in metabolic health, beyond just weight control. Renowned physician Dr. Mark Hyman explains, the key to weight loss isn't about weight at all. It's about understanding how our body processes the food we eat, especially how it handles glucose. His approach focuses on balancing blood sugar through nutrient-dense foods, reducing the need for crash diets. When glucose levels are kept in check, the body can more easily regulate hunger and fat storage, reducing the reliance on extreme dieting measures. Take, for instance, individuals who experience frequent sugar cravings. These cravings are often the result of a roller coaster of glucose spikes and dips. After consuming sugary or refined carbohydrate-rich foods, blood sugar levels surge, followed by a sharp decline, leaving the person hungry, fatigued, and reaching for more quick energy. By focusing on stabilizing blood sugar, through eating whole foods high in fiber, protein, and healthy fats, these cravings diminish, naturally reducing calorie intake without the need for restrictive eating habits. Furthermore, research shows that glucose stabilization helps prevent diseases that are often associated with obesity. According to the American Diabetes Association, people with stable blood sugar levels have a lower risk of developing heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and even certain types of cancer. This indicates that managing glucose is a crucial factor in preventing not just weight-related conditions but a wide array of chronic illnesses. It is crucial to rethink the conventional wisdom that losing weight equals better health. The real goal should be metabolic health, where the body efficiently uses glucose and fat for energy. By stabilizing blood sugar levels, the body naturally reduces its fat stores, improves insulin sensitivity, and enhances energy levels. This leads to a more sustainable and balanced way of living, free from the constant struggle of extreme diets and the inevitable rebound weight gain that follows. Recommendations: focus on consuming foods that promote stable glucose levels, such as those high in fiber, healthy fats, and lean proteins. These foods release glucose slowly into the bloodstream, preventing sudden spikes. Avoid processed sugars and refined carbohydrates, which cause rapid blood sugar fluctuations and lead to fat storage. Incorporate regular physical activity, which enhances insulin sensitivity and helps the body utilize glucose more effectively. Consider using continuous glucose monitoring (CGM) as a tool to track how different foods impact your blood sugar, giving you personalized insights for better glucose management. By prioritizing glucose stabilization over weight loss, you not only reduce fat storage but also cultivate a foundation for lasting health and vitality. Focus point 2. Metabolic flexibility. How building metabolic resilience allows your body to efficiently switch between burning carbs and fats. Metabolic flexibility is the body's ability to seamlessly switch between burning carbohydrates, glucose, and fats for energy, depending on availability and demand. This adaptability is a hallmark of good metabolic health, enabling the body to efficiently use different fuel sources in response to varying dietary conditions, physical activity, and fasting states. When the body becomes metabolically flexible, it can sustain energy levels, improve fat oxidation, and reduce dependency on constant glucose intake. The modern diet, which is often rich in processed carbohydrates and sugars, tends to impair this flexibility. People who rely heavily on carbohydrates for energy may experience frequent spikes and crashes in blood sugar levels, leading to energy fluctuations, cravings, and eventually insulin resistance. In contrast, those with robust metabolic flexibility can tap into stored fat for energy when carbohydrate reserves are low, such as during periods of fasting or exercise, without experiencing extreme hunger or fatigue. Consider endurance athletes who engage in long-duration activities such as marathon running or cycling. These athletes often require their bodies to shift between carbohydrate and fat metabolism to maintain performance. A study published in Cell Metabolism demonstrated that athletes with high metabolic flexibility were able to burn fat more efficiently during endurance events, allowing them to conserve glycogen, stored glucose, and extend their energy reserves. The research highlights that metabolic flexibility enhances physical performance, reduces the risk of hitting the wall, and delays fatigue. Dr. Ben Bickman, a leading researcher on metabolic health, explains, metabolic flexibility allows the body to utilize the fuel that is most readily available, whether it's glucose or fat, and switch between them without disruption. This adaptability is especially important during fasting periods or when carbohydrate intake is limited. For example, during intermittent fasting or low-carb diets, metabolically flexible individuals can readily access their fat stores for energy, whereas those who lack this flexibility may struggle with low energy, mental fog, or cravings. The ketogenic diet is a prime illustration of how metabolic flexibility can be harnessed for health benefits. By reducing carbohydrate intake and increasing fat consumption, the body is forced to rely more on fat for energy, leading to the production of ketones, an alternative fuel source. People who follow ketogenic or low-carb diets often report increased mental clarity, sustained energy, and reduced hunger. This is because their bodies have become more adept at burning fat when glucose is scarce, illustrating the power of metabolic resilience. A fascinating case study from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism observed a group of individuals who adopted a ketogenic diet and demonstrated improved insulin sensitivity and reduced fat mass over time. These participants developed greater metabolic flexibility, allowing their bodies to shift from relying predominantly on glucose to efficiently burning fats. This change in fuel utilization not only aided in weight management but also decreased markers of inflammation and oxidative stress. Beyond athletic performance and dietary adaptations, metabolic flexibility plays a critical role in maintaining stable energy levels throughout the day. Those who are metabolically flexible can better manage periods of fasting, stressful situations, or unpredictable meal times. Rather than experiencing energy crashes, they can draw on fat stores for consistent energy, preventing overeating or reliance on sugary snacks to stabilize blood sugar. It's important to note that metabolic flexibility can diminish with age, sedentary lifestyles, or chronic conditions such as obesity and type 2 diabetes. In these cases, the body's ability to burn fat becomes impaired, leading to a greater reliance on glucose for energy, even when fat stores are abundant. This can perpetuate a cycle of glucose dependence, insulin resistance, and weight gain. Enhancing metabolic flexibility is not only about dietary adjustments. It also involves regular physical activity. Exercise, especially in the form of high-intensity interval training (HIIT) or endurance activities, helps to improve the body's capacity to switch between fuel sources. A study in sports medicine found that individuals who engaged in both aerobic and anaerobic exercises exhibited greater metabolic flexibility than those who were sedentary, highlighting the importance of an active lifestyle in promoting metabolic health. Building metabolic resilience through flexibility offers long-term benefits that extend beyond weight management. It supports overall metabolic health, enhances energy utilization, and fosters greater independence from constant food intake. When the body is free from the reliance on frequent glucose intake, it can better manage energy demands, prevent weight gain, and support mental and physical performance. Recommendations: incorporate intermittent fasting or time-restricted eating to train your body to switch between glucose and fat metabolism. Engage in regular physical activity, particularly high-intensity interval training (HIIT) and endurance exercise, to enhance your body's ability to utilize different fuel sources. Follow a nutrient-dense diet that balances healthy fats, proteins, and carbohydrates to avoid over-reliance on any single energy source. Consider low-carb or ketogenic dietary phases to promote fat oxidation and improve metabolic resilience. By cultivating metabolic flexibility, you empower your body to burn fat more effectively, stabilize energy levels, and maintain metabolic health without the need for extreme dieting or constant glucose consumption. This resilience not only improves physical performance but also lays the foundation for long-term health and well-being. Focus point 3. Why weight loss fails. Why extreme weight loss methods don't provide lasting results and may even sabotage your health. Extreme weight loss methods such as crash diets, excessive calorie restriction, and extreme exercise regimens often promise rapid results but fail to deliver sustainable health benefits. These approaches typically focus on immediate reduction in body weight, ignoring the long-term metabolic consequences and the impact on overall well-being. Over time, these methods can backfire, leading to weight regain, hormonal imbalances, muscle loss, and even a damaged metabolism. One major reason extreme weight loss methods fail is that they often trigger the body's survival mechanisms. When the body experiences drastic calorie cuts, it interprets this as a threat, activating a biological response that slows down metabolism to conserve energy. This phenomenon, known as adaptive thermogenesis, was observed in participants of The Biggest Loser reality show. Researchers found that even years after the competition ended, participants' metabolisms remained significantly slower than expected for their body sizes, making it harder for them to maintain their weight loss. This metabolic slowdown not only hampers further weight loss but also sets the stage for weight regain once normal eating resumes. Additionally, extreme weight loss methods often fail to address the root cause of weight gain. poor metabolic health. Focusing solely on cutting calories without considering how the body processes those calories ignores the importance of insulin sensitivity, hormonal regulation, and nutrient quality. As Dr. Jason Fung, a nephrologist and author of the Obesity Code, explains, obesity is not just a problem of excess calories, it's a hormonal imbalance driven by insulin resistance and high insulin levels. Without addressing these underlying issues, people may lose weight temporarily but struggle to keep it off as their bodies remain in a state of metabolic dysfunction. For instance, the low-fat diet craze of the 1980s and 1990s, promoted as a way to reduce calorie intake and lose weight, inadvertently led many people to consume more refined carbohydrates and sugars. These foods, although lower in fat, spike insulin levels and contribute to metabolic inflexibility, making it harder to burn fat and easier to regain weight. The result: a paradoxical rise in obesity rates during the very decades when low-fat dieting was at its peak. Psychological factors also play a crucial role in the failure of extreme weight loss methods. Rapid weight loss can create an unsustainable mindset, where people become obsessed with the number on the scale rather than focusing on overall health. This often leads to yo-yo dieting, rapid cycles of weight loss followed by weight gain, which has been shown to increase the risk of cardiovascular disease and worsen insulin sensitivity. In a study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association, researchers found that weight cycling was associated with a higher incidence of coronary heart disease and all-cause mortality, particularly in women. Furthermore, extreme methods can lead to muscle loss rather than fat loss, particularly when people adopt very low-calorie diets or avoid strength training. Muscle is metabolically active tissue that helps burn calories even at rest. When muscle mass is lost, the body's resting metabolic rate declines, making it harder to maintain weight loss. This can create a vicious cycle. The more muscle lost, the slower the metabolism and the greater the likelihood of weight regain. The importance of preserving muscle mass during weight loss was highlighted in a study from Obesity Reviews, which stressed that muscle maintenance, alongside fat loss, should be a key goal of any successful weight loss plan. Moreover, extreme restriction often leads to feelings of deprivation, which can trigger emotional eating or binge eating. When people feel deprived of foods they enjoy, they are more likely to develop an unhealthy relationship with food, where indulgence becomes a form of rebellion against the restrictions imposed by their diet. This behavior was analyzed in a physiology and behavior study, where participants who followed highly restrictive diets were more prone to emotional eating and weight regain compared to those who followed more balanced, moderate approaches. A long-term sustainable approach to weight management should focus on improving metabolic health rather than simply reducing the number on the scale. Instead of extreme restriction, a combination of moderate calorie reduction, increased nutrient-dense foods, and regular physical activity provides a more balanced way to achieve weight goals. Shifting from an obsession with rapid weight loss to a focus on building metabolic flexibility and stabilizing blood glucose leads to better outcomes, as demonstrated in research published by the International Journal of Obesity. In the words of Hippocrates, "If you are not your own doctor, you are a fool." This emphasizes the need for individuals to take a mindful, balanced approach to their health, understanding that extreme methods often sacrifice long-term wellness for short-term gains. Successful weight management is about creating habits that nourish the body, support metabolic health, and foster a positive relationship with food and exercise. Recommendations: avoid extreme calorie restriction or fad diets. Instead, focus on gradual, sustainable changes to your eating and exercise habits. Prioritize strength training and muscle preservation to boost metabolic rate and support fat loss. Shift your mindset from losing weight at all costs to improving metabolic health, insulin sensitivity, and long-term well-being. Incorporate nutrient-dense foods that support stable blood sugar and provide satiety, reducing the risk of overeating or binge eating. Focus on creating a balanced relationship with food, allowing room for enjoyment without extreme restriction or deprivation. Extreme weight loss methods often sabotage long-term health by disrupting metabolic function, causing hormonal imbalances and undermining psychological well-being. A sustainable, balanced approach is the key to lasting results and better overall health. Focus point 4. The power of food choices. Practical strategies for choosing foods that stabilize glucose and enhance metabolism. The choices we make when it comes to food have a profound impact on how our body processes energy, maintains stable blood sugar levels, and supports metabolic health. Stabilizing glucose levels and promoting metabolic flexibility go hand in hand with eating nutrient-dense foods that offer both short-term energy and long-term well-being. Practical, informed decisions about what to eat can lead to enhanced vitality, reduced risk of chronic disease, and more efficient energy use by the body. One of the most effective strategies for stabilizing glucose is focusing on foods with a low glycemic index, GI. Low GI foods such as leafy greens, legumes, and whole grains are digested slowly, resulting in a gradual release of glucose into the bloodstream. This slow release helps prevent sharp spikes in blood sugar, which, if frequent, can lead to insulin resistance and metabolic disorders. Contrast this with the effect of high GI foods like sugary drinks, white bread, or pastries, which cause rapid glucose surges followed by crashes. These fluctuations can lead to increased hunger and overeating, ultimately straining the body's insulin response and impairing metabolic flexibility. An excellent case study of the power of low GI foods can be found in the Mediterranean diet, which emphasizes whole foods like vegetables, olive oil, nuts, and lean proteins. Numerous studies have shown that people who follow this dietary pattern have lower rates of type 2 diabetes and heart disease, conditions closely linked to poor glucose control. By focusing on unprocessed, fiber-rich foods, the Mediterranean diet provides a template for how food choices can stabilize blood sugar while promoting long-term metabolic health. Protein is another crucial component of a diet that supports glucose stability and metabolic flexibility. Eating adequate amounts of high-quality protein helps regulate hunger hormones like ghrelin, keeping you fuller for longer and reducing the likelihood of overeating. More importantly, protein slows the absorption of carbohydrates, thereby moderating blood sugar spikes after meals. Protein-rich foods such as eggs, fish, and legumes are not only satisfying but also provide the building blocks for muscle maintenance, which is essential for a healthy metabolism. Unlike extreme weight loss methods which often lead to muscle loss, a balanced intake of protein helps preserve muscle mass, ensuring that the body burns calories efficiently even at rest. Additionally, incorporating healthy fats into your diet is a strategic way to stabilize glucose and boost metabolism. Contrary to the low-fat dietary advice of the past, we now know that healthy fats, such as those found in avocados, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish, are essential for maintaining stable energy levels. Fats take longer to digest, which slows the absorption of glucose and prevents sharp blood sugar spikes. Moreover, healthy fats enhance metabolic flexibility by allowing the body to seamlessly switch between burning glucose and fat for fuel. This adaptability is key for preventing energy crashes and promoting sustained energy throughout the day. Timing and the order in which you eat foods also play a significant role in glucose stabilization. Recent studies have shown that eating vegetables and proteins before carbohydrates can significantly reduce glucose spikes after meals. By consuming fiber-rich vegetables first, you create a protective barrier in the gut, slowing down the absorption of carbohydrates that follow. This simple hack can be transformative for anyone looking to manage glucose levels more effectively. One real-world example of this principle is the approach used by endurance athletes. Many athletes train low, meaning they purposefully train with lower glycogen levels to teach their bodies to rely on fat as a fuel source. By enhancing metabolic flexibility, these athletes can switch between using carbs and fats more efficiently, which not only boosts performance but also helps maintain steady glucose levels. While this strategy is extreme and specific to athletic performance, it illustrates how food choices and fuel sources directly affect metabolism and energy stability. As the ancient Chinese proverb says, "The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now." This highlights the importance of making positive changes to your food choices today. By prioritizing foods that stabilize glucose and enhance metabolism, you set yourself up for long-term health, no matter your starting point. Recommendations: prioritize low glycemic foods such as whole grains, leafy greens, and legumes to ensure a slow, steady release of glucose. Include high-quality proteins in every meal to moderate blood sugar spikes and support muscle maintenance. Embrace healthy fats like those in nuts, seeds, and avocados to stabilize energy and promote metabolic flexibility. Experiment with food order. Eat vegetables and proteins before carbohydrates to reduce post-meal glucose spikes. Be mindful of meal timing, ensuring you consume balanced meals that provide lasting energy rather than causing sharp blood sugar fluctuations. The power of food choices cannot be underestimated. By focusing on nutrient-dense, low-GI foods, high-quality proteins, and healthy fats, you can stabilize glucose, enhance your metabolism, and create a foundation for long-term health and vitality. Focus point 5. Sustainable lifestyle shifts. How small, consistent changes can lead to better health outcomes than drastic diets or intense exercise regimens. When it comes to health, many people fall into the trap of believing that rapid, drastic changes, such as extreme diets or intense workout programs, are the key to success. However, these approaches are often unsustainable and can lead to burnout, frustration, or even injury. On the other hand, small, consistent changes to daily habits are far more effective at fostering long-term health and well-being. These subtle shifts not only reduce the risk of overwhelm but also create lasting results, as they become ingrained into a person's lifestyle over time. One of the most compelling arguments for sustainable lifestyle changes comes from behavioral science. Studies show that humans are more likely to stick with gradual modifications than sudden, radical shifts. For instance, research conducted by the American Psychological Association found that people who made small, manageable changes, such as walking for 10 minutes after dinner, were more likely to continue their new habits compared to those who started rigorous exercise routines right away. Incremental progress also tends to build confidence, which fosters a positive feedback loop. As individuals achieve small wins, they feel more motivated to continue improving their health. A prime example of this principle can be found in the success of the Blue Zones populations, regions where people live longer, healthier lives than anywhere else on the planet. In places like Okinawa, Japan, and Sardinia, Italy, the residents don't engage in extreme diets or intense workout regimens. Instead, they follow simple, consistent habits, eating plant-based foods, engaging in low-intensity physical activity like gardening or walking, and maintaining strong social connections. These small, daily practices accumulate over a lifetime, leading to significantly lower rates of chronic diseases like heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. One anecdote that illustrates the power of small changes is the story of James Clear, author of Atomic Habits. Clear emphasizes the idea that the effects of tiny habits compound over time, much like financial investments. He argues that success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. In his own life, Clear applied this philosophy by setting a goal to improve his fitness by just 1% each day. This gradual improvement led to tremendous results, proving that small efforts, when sustained over time, can lead to massive transformations in health. The concept of habit stacking, another strategy championed by behavioral scientists, reinforces the power of gradual change. This involves linking new habits to existing routines to make them easier to adopt. For example, if someone already drinks a cup of coffee each morning, they could add a healthy habit like stretching for 5 minutes while waiting for the coffee to brew. Over time, this small addition becomes automatic and more beneficial habits can be built on top of it. This approach stands in stark contrast to the all-or-nothing mindset often associated with extreme diets and fitness regimens, where missing a workout or indulging in a treat can cause guilt and discourage future progress. Extreme approaches often lead to health pitfalls, as seen in the rise of yo-yo dieting. People who engage in crash diets may lose weight rapidly, but they also lose muscle mass and deplete essential nutrients. Once the diet ends, many individuals return to their old eating habits, and their metabolism, having slowed down, struggles to maintain the reduced weight. This often results in weight gain beyond the original starting point, leading to a vicious cycle. According to a study published in the International Journal of Obesity, yo-yo dieting increases the risk of cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes over time, illustrating the dangers of pursuing unsustainable methods of weight loss. A more effective alternative is focusing on small dietary changes, such as reducing processed foods and adding more whole, nutrient-dense options. For instance, replacing sugar-laden snacks with fruits and nuts or gradually increasing water intake are subtle but powerful steps. Over time, these incremental adjustments reduce inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and support metabolic health, without the need for drastic diet plans. Sustainable changes apply to physical activity as well. While high-intensity workouts may promise quick results, they are often hard to maintain and can lead to injury if approached too aggressively. Instead, research suggests that low to moderate intensity activities like walking or yoga, performed consistently, can lead to better long-term health outcomes. For example, a study published in The Lancet found that people who engaged in just 15 minutes of moderate exercise per day had a 14% lower risk of all-cause mortality. These small, consistent efforts build cardiovascular fitness, enhance mood and increase metabolic flexibility, all without the stress and strain of extreme workout programs. As the well-known adage goes, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. This underscores the value of patience and persistence. It's not the sweeping changes that lead to success, but rather the steady accumulation of small, positive actions that ultimately make the greatest impact. Recommendations for sustainable lifestyle shifts. Focus on gradual, manageable changes, such as walking for 10 to 15 minutes daily or adding a serving of vegetables to each meal. Use habit stacking to build new routines. Add a short, healthy activity to something you already do daily. Prioritize long-term consistency over short-term intensity in both diet and exercise. Remember that sustainable practices yield better results. Avoid extreme diets or workout regimens that promise rapid results. Instead, adopt changes that you can maintain for life. Be patient with progress and celebrate small wins, as these will compound over time to create lasting improvements in your health and well-being. By shifting the focus from quick fixes to sustainable habits, anyone can achieve long-term health success. These lifestyle shifts not only improve physical health but also create a sense of accomplishment and well-being that fuels continued progress. Focus point 6. The science of glucose stabilization. Proven methods to balance your blood sugar and prevent spikes and crashes that lead to weight gain and fatigue. Glucose stabilization is one of the most powerful tools for managing not only weight but overall well-being. When blood sugar fluctuates dramatically, spiking after meals and crashing shortly afterward, it wreaks havoc on energy levels, metabolism, and even mood. This roller coaster effect often triggers cravings, overeating, and weight gain, while also increasing the risk of chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease. By learning how to maintain steady glucose levels, you can avoid these pitfalls, ensuring better energy, improved hormonal health, and sustainable weight management. One of the key mechanisms behind glucose spikes and crashes is the glycemic response to different types of food. High glycemic foods such as refined sugars and processed carbs cause a rapid release of glucose into the bloodstream, prompting a surge of insulin. While this process initially lowers glucose levels, it often leads to an overcompensation, causing blood sugar to drop too low, a condition known as reactive hypoglycemia. This drop can trigger hunger, fatigue, and cravings for more sugar, perpetuating a cycle that leads to weight gain and energy crashes. A pivotal study published in the Journal of Clinical Investigation explored the impact of glucose variability on hunger and subsequent food intake. The research revealed that individuals who experienced greater fluctuations in glucose levels consumed significantly more calories throughout the day compared to those with more stable glucose. This finding underscores the importance of preventing spikes and crashes, as stable blood sugar helps regulate appetite and control caloric intake more effectively. Meal timing also plays a crucial role in glucose management. Intermittent fasting, for example, has gained popularity as a way to stabilize glucose levels. The idea is that by extending the time between meals, the body has a chance to lower insulin levels and burn stored fat for energy, promoting metabolic flexibility. A 2019 study in Cell Metabolism demonstrated that intermittent fasting led to improved insulin sensitivity and reduced glucose levels in individuals at risk for diabetes. Participants who adopted time-restricted eating, limiting food intake to an 8-hour window, not only experienced better blood sugar control but also reported feeling more energized and less fatigued throughout the day. Beyond meal timing, the order in which you consume food can also influence glucose levels. Research has shown that eating fiber-rich vegetables first, followed by protein and fats, and ending with carbohydrates, helps blunt glucose spikes. This approach delays the absorption of glucose into the bloodstream, giving the body time to process it more gradually. Dr. Louis Aron, a leading obesity specialist, highlights how the food order strategy can significantly reduce post-meal glucose spikes. In his clinical practice, he observed that patients who followed this method had better weight management outcomes and improved insulin sensitivity without drastically altering their diet. Lifestyle changes also contribute to glucose stabilization. Moderate physical activity, such as walking after meals, has been shown to enhance insulin sensitivity and improve glucose regulation. A study published in Diabetes Care found that a 15-minute walk after eating led to significantly lower postprandial post-meal glucose levels compared to those who remained sedentary. The simple act of moving after meals helps the body use glucose more effectively, preventing spikes and promoting stable energy levels throughout the day. Hormonal health is closely tied to glucose stabilization. When blood sugar levels fluctuate, hormones such as insulin, cortisol, and adrenaline respond to maintain homeostasis. Chronic blood sugar imbalances can lead to insulin resistance, a condition where the body's cells no longer respond effectively to insulin. This not only makes it difficult to manage weight but also disrupts hormonal balance, contributing to issues like polycystic ovary syndrome, POS, and metabolic syndrome. By keeping glucose levels stable, you can reduce stress on the hormonal system and improve overall metabolic health. One compelling example of glucose stabilization's impact on hormonal health can be seen in the treatment of women with POS. Studies have found that by adopting a low-glycemic diet, focusing on whole foods like vegetables, legumes, and lean proteins, women with POS experienced fewer symptoms, including better menstrual regularity and improved fertility. This highlights how glucose stabilization isn't just about weight management. It's about creating a balanced internal environment that supports overall health. The best way to control your future is to take control of your habits today, goes an age-old insight. This wisdom speaks directly to the challenge of glucose management. It's not about making drastic, unsustainable changes, but rather about building consistent, positive habits that regulate blood sugar. Whether through mindful food choices, strategic meal timing, or incorporating regular physical activity, these habits can lead to profound improvements in health. Recommendations for glucose stabilization. Prioritize low-glycemic, fiber-rich foods such as leafy greens, legumes, and whole grains to prevent sharp glucose spikes. Adopt a food order strategy. Consume vegetables first, followed by proteins and fats, and save carbohydrates for last to reduce post-meal glucose surges. Experiment with intermittent fasting or time-restricted eating to allow insulin levels to drop and promote metabolic flexibility. Engage in light physical activity such as walking for 10 to 15 minutes after meals, to enhance glucose regulation and prevent spikes. Avoid processed and refined sugars that cause rapid blood sugar fluctuations, opting for natural whole food alternatives. Focus on sustainable long-term habits that support stable blood sugar levels, as this is key to maintaining both metabolic health and weight. Stabilizing blood sugar is a foundational strategy not only for weight management but for overall well-being. By incorporating small, manageable changes into your routine, whether it's choosing the right foods, timing meals strategically, or adding gentle movement into your day, you can prevent the blood sugar swings that lead to fatigue, cravings, and long-term health complications. In conclusion, this audiobook has highlighted a crucial shift in mindset from extreme weight loss methods to a healthier, more sustainable approach through glucose stabilization and metabolic flexibility. We explored 6 key focus points. The glucose-weight connection, emphasizing the importance of stabilizing blood sugar for long-term health over rapid weight loss. Metabolic flexibility, demonstrating how building resilience allows your body to switch efficiently between burning carbs and fats. The reasons extreme weight loss fails, showing how quick-fix methods often sabotage lasting health results. The power of food choices, offering practical strategies to select foods that stabilize glucose and enhance metabolism. Sustainable lifestyle shifts, proving that small, consistent changes are far more effective than drastic diets or extreme exercise. The science of glucose stabilization, revealing proven methods to prevent the glucose spikes and crashes that lead to fatigue and weight gain. Practical recommendations. Focus on steady long-term health improvements through stabilizing blood sugar rather than aiming for quick weight loss. Incorporate more fiber-rich, low-glycemic foods into your meals and adopt a balanced approach to your diet. Prioritize physical activity that supports metabolic flexibility, such as regular walking. Make sustainable lifestyle changes like better meal timing and mindful food choices to support metabolic and hormonal health. This audiobook not only equips you with the knowledge to manage your health more effectively but also reinforces the importance of consistency in achieving lasting well-being. The path to sustainable health is not through drastic measures but through steady, mindful changes in daily habits. Thank you for investing your time and interest in listening to this audiobook. We sincerely appreciate your commitment to improving your health. If you found this content valuable, we encourage you to like, subscribe, and share this audiobook with others who could benefit from these insights. For those of you improving your English, remember, the more you listen, the better you speak. Continue engaging with content like this to boost both your health and language skills.